We often hear about the importance of open communication and emotional expression, but what about the silent struggles faced by men? Men are often raised with a limited emotional vocabulary. Society tells them to be strong, stoic, and in control at all times. This pressure to suppress their emotions can have profound consequences for their mental health and well-being. From a young age, boys are taught to mask their vulnerability. They are discouraged from expressing emotions deemed weak or feminine, such as sadness, fear, or insecurity. This societal conditioning creates a barrier to emotional expression that can last a lifetime. The purpose of this essay is to shed light on the hidden world of men's emotions. We will explore the societal expectations that contribute to their silence. We will delve into the real-life experiences of men who have been impacted by this stigma. By understanding the challenges they face, we can begin to break down the barriers to emotional expression. Let's create a world where men feel empowered to embrace their full emotional range. The concept of masculinity is often defined by a narrow set of traits. These traits are not just random characteristics but are deeply ingrained in our culture and society. They are passed down from generation to generation, creating a cycle that is hard to break. Strength, stoicism, and dominance are often seen as the hallmarks of a real man. These qualities are celebrated in various forms of media, from movies to advertisements, reinforcing the idea that to be a man, one must embody these traits. These societal expectations can create a heavy burden for men, forcing them to conform to a rigid mold that limits their emotional expression. The pressure to always appear strong and in control can be overwhelming, leading to a sense of isolation and internal conflict. From childhood, boys are bombarded with messages that reinforce these stereotypes. They are taught to be tough, to hide their emotions, and to never show vulnerability. These lessons are often subtle, embedded in the toys they play with, the shows they watch, and the behaviors that are rewarded or punished. They see action heroes who never show weakness, who always save the day without shedding a tear. These characters become role models, shaping their understanding of what it means to be a man. Athletes are praised for their toughness, for their ability to push through pain and adversity without complaint. This glorification of physical and emotional endurance further cements the idea that real men do not show weakness. Fathers are expected to be the unwavering rocks of their families, always strong, always dependable. This expectation can be a heavy burden, as it leaves little room for fathers to express their own fears, doubts, or vulnerabilities. These messages, both explicit and implicit, teach men that vulnerability is a sign of weakness. They learn to suppress their emotions, to put on a brave face even when they are struggling inside. This pressure to conform to a narrow definition of masculinity has far-reaching consequences. It affects not only men's mental health but also their relationships and overall well-being. Men who feel compelled to suppress their emotions may be more likely to experience anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues. The inability to express their true feelings can lead to a buildup of stress and emotional turmoil. They may also struggle to form meaningful connections with others. The fear of being judged or seen as weak can prevent them from opening up, leading to a sense of loneliness and isolation. When men are unable to express their true selves, it creates a disconnect in their relationships. This emotional distance can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and a lack of intimacy. The mask of masculinity may protect men from judgment in the short term, but it comes at a high cost. The constant effort to maintain this facade can be exhausting and ultimately unsustainable. It's time to challenge these outdated norms and create a space where men can embrace their full emotional range without fear of stigma. By encouraging open and honest conversations about feelings, we can help men break free from the constraints of traditional masculinity and lead more fulfilling lives. Support groups and therapy can provide safe spaces for men to explore their emotions and connect with others who understand their struggles. These environments foster a sense of community and acceptance, allowing men to share their experiences without fear of judgment. Education and awareness are also crucial in changing societal expectations. Teaching boys from a young age that it's okay to express their emotions can help break the cycle of suppression. Schools, families, and communities all play a role in fostering a more inclusive and understanding environment. By promoting positive role models who embody a more balanced and authentic form of masculinity, we can inspire future generations to embrace their true selves. Men who are open about their feelings and supportive of others can lead by example, showing that strength comes from authenticity and vulnerability. In the end, redefining masculinity is not just about changing individual behaviors, but about transforming our collective mindset. It's about creating a culture where men feel empowered to be their true selves, where they can express their emotions without fear, and where they can build deeper, more meaningful connections with others. Together, we can build a society that values emotional honesty and connection, where men are free to be themselves and where everyone benefits from a more compassionate and understanding world. The inability to express emotions openly can have a profound impact on men's lives. This issue is often rooted in societal expectations and cultural norms that dictate how men should behave. From a young age, many boys are taught to be stoic, to man up, and to hide their vulnerabilities. This conditioning can lead to a lifetime of emotional suppression. Bottling up feelings can lead to a range of negative consequences, both physically and emotionally. When men are unable to express their emotions, they may experience chronic stress, which can manifest in various ways. This stress can accumulate over time, leading to serious health issues. When emotions are suppressed, they don't just disappear, they fester and manifest in unhealthy ways. This can include anxiety, depression, and even physical symptoms like headaches or digestive issues. The mind and body are deeply interconnected, and unexpressed emotions can wreak havoc on both. One of the most significant ways that unexpressed emotions can impact men is through their physical health. Chronic stress from emotional suppression can lead to high blood pressure, heart disease, and other serious conditions. The body responds to emotional pain in much the same way it responds to physical pain. Studies have shown a link between suppressed emotions and a higher risk of heart disease, stroke, and other chronic illnesses. The constant strain on the cardiovascular system from unrelieved stress can be devastating. It's not just about feeling sad or angry, it's about the long-term impact on overall health. The constant stress of hiding one's true feelings takes a toll on the body, leading to inflammation and other health problems. Inflammation is a common response to stress and can contribute to a variety of ailments, from arthritis to autoimmune diseases. The body is in a constant state of alert, which is exhausting and damaging over time. Emotionally, men who are unable to express themselves may experience increased anger, irritability, and difficulty managing stress. This can lead to strained relationships, both personal and professional. The inability to communicate effectively can create a cycle of frustration and misunderstanding. They may withdraw from loved ones, struggle with intimacy, or turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms such as substance abuse or risky behavior. These behaviors are often attempts to numb the pain or escape from the overwhelming emotions they can't express. Unfortunately, these coping mechanisms can lead to further problems, including addiction and legal issues. The weight of their unexpressed emotions can become a heavy burden to bear, leading to a sense of isolation and despair. This isolation can exacerbate feelings of loneliness and depression, creating a vicious cycle that is hard to break. Men may feel that they have no one to turn to, which only deepens their emotional struggles. It's crucial to understand that emotional expression is not a sign of weakness, but rather a sign of strength and self-awareness. Seeking help from a therapist or talking to a trusted friend can be incredibly beneficial. These conversations can provide a safe space to explore and understand one's emotions. By acknowledging and processing their emotions, men can lead healthier, more fulfilling lives. Emotional expression can improve mental health, strengthen relationships, and enhance overall well-being. It's about breaking the cycle of suppression and embracing a more open and honest way of living. Encouraging men to express their emotions can lead to a more compassionate and understanding society, where everyone feels supported and valued. To truly understand the impact of societal expectations on men's emotional lives, it's important to hear their stories. These narratives provide a window into the often hidden struggles that men face daily, revealing the depth and complexity of their emotional worlds. Countless men from all walks of life have faced the struggle of expressing their emotions. Whether they are young or old, rich or poor, the pressure to conform to traditional notions of masculinity can be overwhelming. This pressure often leads to a suppression of feelings, creating a barrier to emotional well-being. Their experiences shed light on the universal nature of this issue and the urgent need for change. By listening to these stories, we can begin to understand the profound impact that societal expectations have on men's mental health and the importance of creating a more supportive environment. Take, for instance, the story of Mark, a successful businessman who always projected an image of strength and composure. On the surface, Mark seemed to have it all: wealth, status, and a thriving career. However, beneath this confident exterior lay a man grappling with deep-seated fears and insecurities. Behind his confident facade, Mark harbored a deep fear of failure stemming from a critical father. His father's constant criticism and high expectations left Mark feeling inadequate and anxious. Despite his professional success, he could never shake the feeling that he was not good enough. He never felt comfortable expressing his insecurities or seeking support, leading to chronic anxiety and panic attacks. Mark's fear of being perceived as weak prevented him from reaching out for help, and he suffered in silence for years. His story is a poignant reminder of the hidden struggles that many men face. Then there's David, a former athlete who struggled to adjust to life after his sports career ended. David had spent years in the spotlight, celebrated for his physical prowess and competitive spirit. But when his career came to an abrupt end, he found himself adrift, struggling to find a new sense of purpose. Used to the camaraderie and emotional release of competition, David found himself lost and alone in his retirement. The transition from a life of constant activity and social interaction to one of isolation was jarring. He missed the sense of belonging and the emotional outlet that sports had provided. He had always been taught to tough it out and never show weakness, but the weight of his unexpressed emotions eventually led to depression and thoughts of suicide. David's story highlights the dangers of emotional suppression and the critical need for support systems that encourage men to express their feelings. These stories, though fictionalized, represent the very real experiences of countless men who have been impacted by the stigma surrounding male vulnerability. The societal expectation for men to be stoic and self-reliant often prevents them from seeking the help they need, leading to a range of mental health issues. By sharing their journeys, we hope to break down the silence and encourage more men to step forward and share their own truths. It is through these shared experiences that we can begin to dismantle the harmful stereotypes and create a culture where men feel safe to express their emotions without fear of judgment. Together we can build a more compassionate and understanding society.